Now, the project overview here, give you an idea. The wonderful worldwide environmental educators support the all-natural environment, supporting everyone. Now, this is important here because it's a relationship. We support each other. We're not off someplace on the mountain doing our thing. We're actually participating as a community to support each other, and that makes sense because then things will get done. Our real focus is always with what is naturally occurring on this planet Earth. It is the people that must save the natural environment. We are into everything that makes sense with being free with the whole of life. There are no restrictions. There are no restrictions. That's new. So how many people have been indoctrinated to think that restrictions are a way of life? Well, if they want to become more aware, they got to get over that. So there are no restrictions with the all-natural environment in what could be thought of as the natural order of things when there is no interference involved. And hey, people are interfering in our lives, the cabal, the elites, the controllers. We have every right to do something about that. And I'm not talking about violence or anything like that, but just with the awareness that we have, we can offset a lot of things that are going on. And if there's enough agreement here on the planet, we can do a lot. With what the natural order of things when there is no interference involved, with what has taken place over many decades of interference with the natural environment, the natural order of things is not the same. And this is why we, wonderful worldwide educators, are here now doing something wonderful for everyone. And we have many projects planned and are doing right now as well. It's a matter of agreement to get them going. One thing, like you mentioned and I mentioned and has been mentioned, are the rainforests. And these will be planted, trees will be planted in permaculture type communities. Whoever wants to come in that has the technology, the green, the safe, the clean energy type programs that are out there, they'll come into these communities and show people that there's more what makes sense with how people live with the earth. They'll show people, they'll demonstrate this to others, and they'll catch on, and these communities will grow all through the world. So this is just one image I can give you that how things could be here. But it takes agreement, it takes people stepping up and doing something, being courageous enough to step out of their own ideas of things and agreements with the controllers and doing something real. And that's basically, we're here to provide the support for these people. Because there are people out there like that want to do something, but they don't know what to do. They're kind of stuck with what they got to work with. So we're here to, if nothing else, to provide the opportunity for them to step out of their ritualistic, routine, boring life that they've come to know here, and to see something more wonderful in their life.
Well, thank you, Val. And we've got about maybe about 10 minutes left in the show, and it's been wonderful so far, and your visitors have shared some really wonderful information. We do have quite a few listeners in, and at this time I'd like to offer anybody that's listening in or tuned in, if they have like to make any comments or ask any questions to our two visitors or anybody else, please step in and feel free to speak.
This is Claudia in Texas. I have a question, please.
Okay. Well, thank you, Claudia. Please go ahead.
Yes. To either the visitor or Mr. Bluey, when you sing this new you, does it stop the bad aliens from attacking us?
Yeah, I can answer that. So really what it does is it brings in the real connection to the real reality, the true reality of life is. And it's like we call it the new wave or the new energy. And these dark entities, they can't stand that purity, and so they'll just leave. They can't stand it at all. It's like it's just that simple. It's like Sandy's experience when she's singing the new you to the natural environment. It responds and it sings that because it loves that vibration, that energy of the new you. But these dark entities, they can't stand that. They'll go somewhere else because there's so many other places where people will agree to their tap-lining ideas. So, yeah, it's wonderful. It's so cool. And when you start to see this, you can start to see how this physical reality that people think is so dense, and it is, but the other levels that are more fluid are really just right there too, and you can start to perceive them like Sandy's experience, just simply singing the new you. You bring in the true reality, the natural environment responds, and it's so wonderful, it's so cool. And people can start having these fantasy-like experiences because whatever you can imagine, it already is. And then as you really start to see it and perceive it, it comes into this physical reality too.
And Miss Claudia.
Yes.
Yes. To add to this wonderful explanation, the new you is you can understand that maybe above their awareness, the bad guys, they don't relate to it. So what happens is they react to it. But go away. They don't want it because there's nothing they can relate to it. They can't control it. They can't manipulate it. They can't do their evil deeds with it. There's nothing they can understand with it. So they go away, and you have your wonderful beingness. You can be wonderful like who you are, and they do not associate with you. It's very, very clean, very pure and sincere, and it's real. The main thing is real, and it is what it is. And these evil peoples, no, they go away. They go away. Go. They don't understand. They don't want to understand. So this is not violence. It's just go away.
Mr. Visitor, one more question. Mr. Bluey mentioned the word tap line. What is a tap line?
Well, tap line very interesting here because everybody is tap lined. I see on the real side everybody is tap lined. Everybody has basically attachments to different ideas. Again, we come back to ideas and thinking and feeling too. We haven't mentioned feelings too. Attachments to feelings. These are all like little strings or little ropes, or how you humans say, little connections to things that are really not for their benefit at all. They keep them stuck to certain controlling factors which are not to their benefit. It's very simple, there's different ways to describe top lines, but they are basically not to your advantage. It's something that people must wake up to see, and then when they see these top lines, these attachments that they have created for themselves through agreement, they just drop them. They just go away. You don't have to suffer or stress or struggle. You see these top lines, these agreements, and they drop. There's no more. They go away. Go away. Just like the bad germs. They go away. Now maybe my friend here, Comrade Bluey, Mr. Bluey, has another view too with top lines. Do you, Mr. Blue?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. V. Yeah, tap line's interesting. Everybody's really got them, and you can see them on the real sign, and it's like in the Matrix. That's a really good representation that people can relate to. I even heard the Matrix is back in the movies to celebrate the 20th anniversary. It's a bit funny, but anyone that hasn't seen it should watch it online or in the movies now. And yeah, you got these tap lines. They're like in people's back and necks, and everybody's got pain in their back and their neck, and they don't realize that it's being caused from the astral realm. And by singing the new you can see what these tap lines are, and then you can simply let go of your agreement to what is holding on to that attachment, and then let it go, and you can be free of that restriction. And it's so cool. Yeah, I see people do it all the time. You can go to YouTube and you can type in tap lining, and there are lots of people that have made videos talking about how they got rid of their tap lines, and it's great. It's really, really cool stuff.
Well, thank you very much. Any other guests wish to step in and make a comment or ask a question?
Hello,
Hi.
am I on?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, this is Ariana, and I wanted to mention, if I got a minute or two, about the elementals. That since I was 3 years old, I've seen the undines, and they were in my crib, and I thought they were little fishes, and I knew they came in from my dreams. And I asked my mom to remove them, and she didn't get up. I knew she couldn't see them, so I used my imagination to have them leave. And then I guess, I don't know if I saw them, but I remember seeing them as an adult in my dreams, all different sized fishes all the time. And I always loved looking in the ponds at fish, on the reeds moving around, or in aquariums. I find them so interesting. And years ago, I have a lady friend who was living here in the physical, who told me that she had been in a path before, and the leader was a woman who said she could see the elementals and the fire elementals, which I guess is a salamander. And when there was a fire, she would contact the water elementals and have them put the fire out, which is a matter of control. And but if you're using the new you and just putting out love in a situation of fire, I'm thinking, I wonder if the undines, the water elementals, would come in and put out the fire. Hopefully it wouldn't stimulate the fire elementals to grow more, because whenever there's a fire, even if it's miles from my home, I can't breathe, and my breathing is already suffering with all the pollution and everything. So anyone have any comments on that?
Well, thank you, Ariana.
Ariana,
go ahead.
Real quick. All these elementals, they they had to move their awareness basically to the astral because people, they're so scared and their awareness didn't want them to be around. They didn't want to see them, so they pretty much had to go to the astral. But when people start to open up their awareness to see these things, they can see them, and it's very cool that you do and you have. So thanks for sharing. It's wonderful because when you share these experiences, it can open up other people's experiences and their views so they can see more too, and so that's really cool.
That's a really wonderful point that we tend to get locked into just thinking life revolves around the human species, but there are so many other species of life here on this planet, and that's in the physical, and then we have a whole species on the astral plane that most of us don't even see or not even aware of. And if we do the New You sessions and start becoming more aware, then we'll be able to see all of life, that there is so much more beauty to be seen if we would just open our awareness to all that. So we're running out of time. I got time for maybe one more question. Anybody want to step in and make a comment?
Hello. I suggest everyone start singing the New You and pay attention to their dreams. That's all I have to say.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you for that. Yeah, let me remind everybody that when you sing New You and you call on the Real Guides, they will oftentimes answer any questions, or if you want them to show you something, maybe show you your tap lines and all this, they often do it in the dream state, and that's a wonderful point that you made. Thank you very much for that. All right, got 1 minute left. Anybody else?
Well, Bob, speaking of species, and I know you support a different species here on Earth. These are the children. These are like different species because they are the sincere, pure ones. And I know you and others here support the children because they are the future. And when we provide real guidance and real education, oh, what a wonderful world we will have, Bob. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting thing. I think most people, most parents will realize that when their kids are old enough to talk up until they're poisoned with vaccination, can actually see the real side of life. And they try to share that with their parents, and their parents oftentimes that are unaware think the kids are nuts. But the truth of the fact is the parents are nuts and the kids are right. So that's a very, very wonderful point you made there, and that they are our future. Well, it's time to end the program, everybody. I thank everybody, for all the listeners for listening in, and everybody for participating. And even my dog is saying hello in the background over there. So I'd like to finish the show. There's too many people on the name. I don't know the names of everybody. But I would like to end the show by everybody singing New You, and then we'll end the show. And so everybody can unmute their phones. And on the count of three, I'd like everybody join me in singing New You once or twice, and then I'll end the program. Thank you very much. Okay, 1, 2, 3. New Okay, thank you, everybody, and we'll talk to you at our next show. Thank you very much for participating. I know.
Thank you, Bob.
Hurrah, yay.